It is becoming increasingly clear that the average creator doesn't realize there's multiple ways to win at OnlyFans. But the reality is, when it comes to a fan site platform, you can run a variety of different business models and still achieve whatever success you're looking for. So in today's video, I'm going to go over 5 of my favorite business models for OnlyFans. Let's get into it. Now, the first business model I want to talk about, and probably the most obvious, is the subscription model. So this is when your fans will come to your OnlyFans page and they'll be required to pay a recurring subscription to access whatever you post on your fan site. Now, why this is really beneficial? A recurring business model is useful because it has a lot less volatility. You kind of have some expectation of the revenue you're going to make next month based on your audience and your number of subscribers. It gives you a little bit of peace of mind in an industry that can sometimes be a little bit more volatile, compared to something like cams, when you don't know how much money you're going to make when you log on that night. Or compare it to something like your clip store, where maybe one month you sell a lot of clips and the next month you don't sell hardly any. There's a lot more sustainability in a recurring kind of business model, and that's why the subscription one is so vital to being a part of your business plan. Most creators work with their recurring subscription model by including some kind of content on their feed that gets included in the price of the subscription. So maybe on your feed you post implied nude content or nude content, but you keep the really spicy stuff behind a paywall, say in DMs, for example. This is a great way to envision why your subscription is worth the price and what you're giving your fans as a value for being subscribed to your page. What thing are you offering them that is worth that price of subscription? These are the considerations you want to make if you want to use a subscription recurring business model. You have to give enough value for that price of subscription on a regular occurring basis. So keep this in mind if this is the business model you decide to choose. And there's a part of this that I think is a really cool caveat to touch on. A lot of creators think that the biggest successes in the OnlyFans space have a huge audience of recurring subscribers. But in all actuality, a lot of those creators have a big base, but they're on a free page and they're monetized in another way. So just because you see a creator is really successful doesn't necessarily mean that they're running a subscription recurring business model. We're going to make this distinction in the very next business model. So the next one I want to talk about is PPVs. We just put out a whole video on how to monetize your PPVs, your pay-per-view messages and DMs on OnlyFans. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. We'll link it in the description below. But when I say pay-per-view content, this is the content that you're going to direct message to a fan that they're going to pay to unlock. Now, using this business model can be really impactful. To the point I had just mentioned earlier, some creators have completely free OnlyFans pages that they only monetize through direct messaging and PPV messages. Why this is useful? If you have a free page and you have your monetization or your business model focused specifically in DMs and in monetizing DMs, every fan that comes to your page, or any person that clicks from your social profiles and ends up on your OnlyFans page, they have nothing to risk. There's nothing at stake. There's no subscription price to access your page or to access you in the DMs as a creator, which means the odds of them converting from Instagram to OnlyFans, or from Twitter to OnlyFans, Reddit to OnlyFans, what have you, the conversion is very high because they have nothing at stake. There's no risk. There's no payment that they have to give to access you in this place. So what you'll typically see happening is that creators will build these huge followings on their free OnlyFans pages that they park there, and maybe not everyone's engaged. Usually 90% of these people are freeloaders or looky-loos or what have you. But the ones that do engage or can be persuaded to engage in DMs get monetized. It's kind of a volume game. So you want as many people to come and park themselves on your OnlyFans that you can get, and then you slowly work your magic in DMs to convert them, to sell them, to get them unlocking PPVs. And this business model, especially if you have a really big audience, is very effective. Now, the next business model is tips. When you are on OnlyFans, you can tip creators, and some creators build their entire businesses on their pages using tips alone. So a great example of someone I saw doing this is that they would post the thumbnail to their most recent video on their OnlyFans feed, and they would say, tip this post this amount and I'll send you the video in DMs. So what they were doing is that they were leveraging the power of tipping on the post to then give and deliver or distribute their content to the fan in DMs. Now, why this might be useful. So when you have a public forum, like a public feed post on OnlyFans, it gives the ability for your community members to see how other community members are behaving. And this can drive additional consumption or additional spending behavior in your fans. So if one fan comes along and tips that post, say $20 because they want the video in DMs, and another fan sees that and sees, oh, this post has $20, someone purchased this video. Well, then they might feel more comfortable or be more likely to then go and tip $20 in the post and also get access to the video. Say a fan 3 weeks after this video is posted sees that thumbnail post on OnlyFans and it has $600 worth of tips on it. That fan can do the math and be like, oh my God, people are loving this video. I want to buy this video. And then that social proof kind of converts them into then spending themselves. So you get to harness the power of a public forum in your audience to psychologically trigger a behavior of that other fan to spend money and purchase the content as well. So this is where tipping can be really useful and also just kind of hacking the psychology of your consumer. This is where I think tipping can be done really, really well. And obviously you can harness the power of tipping in other places as well. Like just in DMs, you can ask fans for tips for certain things you want to upsell, etc. But as far as tipping as a business model, as the way you run your page, this is the only way that I kind of have seen it done well, and I think that there's a benefit to doing it. Now, this next way to monetize your page is with just private requests or what we call custom content. Now, this is really, really valuable for the smaller creators who I think are just starting out. It's valuable for you at all sizes, I should clarify that, but I think it can be most valuable when you're new and you don't have a huge audience to monetize, where your time won't be completely taken up DMing all these fans back and forth all day. Maybe you're a small creator or new creator and your audience or subscribers is just 20 people. You have low volume of interaction that's required of you, low volume on your time, which means you have much more ability to create customized content that your fans are going to have to pay a premium price for. So when you're doing a custom content business model, maybe you're not filming content every week to put out. Maybe the only kind of content you film is custom videos. Now, this isn't the approach I would take because I think having a library that you can sell later is very powerful, and kind of these are digital assets that you hold. So if everything you make is custom, that can complicate things unless you re-edit and reproduce and all that. A video for a different time. But custom content in general as a business model can be really useful because if you don't have a lot of people seeking you out as a creator, maybe you're not a big enough brand, a big enough name, what you can cater to is the audience of people that only like custom stuff, that only like videos where their name is said in them, or only like stuff that they feel is super, super special. And there's a huge audience for that. In fact, I would say a lot of the market is exactly that, because if the average fan in our market wanted stuff that wasn't custom, they could go consume it for free on a tube site. So keep this in mind. If you're a smaller creator and you don't have a ton of fans, you can really double down and grow revenue by focusing your business on creating custom content for fans at a premium price point. You're probably not going to be the creator that has, 1,000 paying subscribers every month because you're just getting started, but you can have 30 subscribers paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for custom content and break out to the same amount of revenue as the other kind of creator. So this is really where understanding the business model you want to use is very important, but also understanding the place in your career or the level you're at and how to capitalize on it most can be very important. Now, the fifth way I want to talk about, and I love this one, probably because it's kind of like where I got my start, but is with live camming or live streaming. So live streaming is a pretty intense or time intensive business model because you have to put on your hours online. You have to log on at X time, log off at X time, be entertaining the whole time. It's its own monster in general. But what can be really useful is that when you're on a cam site or when you're live streaming out on OnlyFans, you're getting this live interaction with your audience, which builds a lot of rapport, and it's going to build very deep, meaningful relationships, which as a result turns into more fan spending. So doing live streams is a great way to be live with your fans, promote new content that you have releasing that you can then monetize in DMs, monetize on your feed, however you want. When you're live with them, you can ask and upsell certain things while you're live, like if you want me to flash, if you want me to dance, if you want me to blow you a kiss, all of those things can be monetized. And you can do that through OnlyFans through live streams. When you're live streaming on OnlyFans, there's kind of two different distinct ways you can go about it. If you have a subscription page, you will go live to your audience. All of them can see you and they can participate in the live. This is where you're going to ask them to tip you for doing XYZ thing. But if you have a free page, however, when you have a free page, you can actually set a ticket price that someone has to tip to enter the live stream, to access your show. So this can be very useful for those creators that have massive audiences and are running free pages, because you can also monetize tickets to your live shows. And this is very, very useful. I think most creators don't actually know you can do that. And pro tip before we wrap up this section, when it comes to live streams, you can actually multi-stream with other creators on OnlyFans. I released this tweet about it, and I did a walkthrough at some point on our channels, but I believe there's a standalone vlog over on SWCEO.com. If you want to check it out, it'll walk you through the steps on how to do this. But you could go live on OnlyFans with me being completely in a different place in the world, also going live, and your fans can access both streams simultaneously in one feed. So you can also get really creative in the way you go live on OnlyFans and in the way you monetize it. You can work together and collaborate with other creators to expand your audiences, grow your subscribers, grow your followers, fans, and revenue. So wanted to include that in this video as well. That is possible. Most creators don't know. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. That was 5 different business models you can run on OnlyFans. I will be releasing an extended bonus video with 5 additional ways to monetize OnlyFans over in our private closed community for adult creators, the CEO Society. If you haven't already heard, it is our free closed community where creators give out resources, strategies, tips and tricks, case studies of things they're trying. It's basically a place to learn and grow together with the full support of other creators just like you. So I hope you'll consider joining us there. We have it linked down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.